Welcome to the first episode of the Connections podcast. This is going to be a audio and video service, I guess is the best way to put it.
Prostitute service as well. You said service, so that.
I'm here with...
I'm the Italian child, if we're thinking about Star Wars, but no, I'm Josh. I'm just Josh.
That's his alter ego.
Boring.
But anyway, we are going to, for this first episode, we're going to talk about Star Wars in general, and then we're going to have some subsections. We're going to talk about each episode in terms of just overview thoughts on them. We're going to have our favourite character from the movie, favourite scene from the movie, and I think that's it. Just things we like about it, dislike, whatever, and then we're going to do
a whole movie ranking. Then we've got heroes and villains, so like favourite characters pretty much. And it's just personal favourites, it's not according to what all the critics say or whatever.
Oh yes, it's what the critics say, then people are going to hate my list. I've been told that my list sucks anyway.
Yeah.
Because...
Your list probably... I think my list is better than yours, not gonna lie.
In terms of... Your list in terms of addressing what majority of people think, it will be. Because mine is all over the place. Like, there's probably not one person alive who would have the same... Oh, we're doing 11 movies, by the way, because we're doing 1 to 9 of, like, the Skywalker saga, and then we're doing Rogue One and Solo as well. But there would not be many people in the world with the same ranking as me, which, I don't know, you'll find out soon enough.
Well, to be fair, I just watched Solo, like, the other day, so, like,
yeah.
I don't have much knowledge of Solo, but... I've got on my list. So.
I've seen each movie. I mean, Rise of Skywalker would have to be the least, only because it's the most recent one out. But even that, I watched it the other night. Like, I've gone through them all again recently. I've watched them all at least, like, fully, at least 5 times.
Yeah, my most watched movie is probably Revenge of the Sith. Like, I've watched that more times. Like, I think I watched it twice in one day. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a movie I can keep going back to, but anyway, okay. So we'll start with the overview of each movie with the character and scene. So we'll start with the Phantom Menace, which isn't technically the first one, but it technically is the first one, but wasn't the first one made. Regardless, it's what we're starting with.
Chronological.
So thoughts on the movie as a whole?
All right. I liked how it introduced the Darth Maul and the Sith or whatever, the bad guys, pretty much. But what I didn't like is how it was based on just the trade. It got too much involved with politics, and I lost my shit by the end of it. I just sort of was like, all right, this is getting boring. But overall, like, it's one of those movies I can go back to. I think they missed out on a couple things, like with humor and that. They tried to push it a bit too far, but some things were
with
pretty
one
fun.
character.
Jar Jar.
Yeah.
I think he's still like legendary though.
Oh yeah, I don't hate him.
Imagine if he returned.
They're all done now.
Mandalorian.
Although no, there's a few different things. Yeah.
He could be Mandalorian.
I don't know. What you said was pretty spot on. I don't know. You get, because like, okay, I'm gonna say my scene.
Yeah. And
my scene, and I feel like it's the same with a lot of people, is the fight at the end.
That's what I've got.
With Darth Maul and the 2 Jedis.
Darth Maul and Qui-Gon.
And that is the best part, but you take that out, I still don't think it's a horrible movie. Like, I can still enjoy the rest of it. Like, the pod racing's fine. Anakin, he's a bit whiny. I think he's kind of meant to be like that.
Well, look at him we'll get to Attack of the Clones, but when it gets to Attack of the Clones and that's when he becomes like a real teenage little man-whore. But until then, he's like alright. So
anyway, my scene is that. Is that your scene?
Yeah, I've got Qui-Gon and Kenobi.
I don't know. The song like Duel of the Fates is one of the highest, not highest, best Star Wars songs in my opinion. And I don't know, the fight, you compare it to the original trilogy, the fight is like 10 times more full on. But especially when it gets to the point where it's Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul, just them, that like is just amazing.
And it shows like the really good contrast between Darth Maul and Kenobi when they're especially if we go to Rebels and that, but we're not going to get too much involved.
Gets back on it.
Back then, this is at the youth stage, so when they're really like hectic and
true.
You know, really quick and all that. But then when you compare that to like episode 4, when Obi-Wan's like fighting Darth Vader and he's all slow.
It's just so slow, and it's meant to be later in the story. It doesn't like, I know he's old, but even Vader's slow. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Even if you go to episode 6 with Return of the Jedi, when Luke and Vader are fighting, like I think episode 1, what they really nailed on the head was with the lightsaber battles and that.
Yeah.
I think they just sort of bring that energy about it, and you know, instead of where it got a bit boring in the original.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it did get boring at parts. I'm not gonna say it didn't, but
what about your favourite character?
I said Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. So I like Darth Maul, but I think personally, like he's probably one of my favourites.
Yeah.
But in terms of the whole scheme of the film, I think for me, Qui-Gon Jinn. I think he really.
I mean, he's the main character, I guess. In that
he's the main character
before it gets spoilers.
He was the only one that believed in Anakin.
True.
He was the one that wanted to train him. He was willing to go against all the arrogant Jedi Council members. Samuel L. Jackson.
That turned out in the long run.
We're all dead.
Yeah, I can understand why. I don't know. Darth Maul is just awesome.
He's sick.
And then the double-bladed lightsaber was like the first time to see it. Now they do that for everyone, and
it's
I don't know. Everyone gets a different color apparently.
Yeah.
Not pointing fingers at the new movie, but you know, everyone's got a different color, different type of saber, whatever.
Yeah.
But mine is Darth Maul.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Qui-Gon. I think,
Any more comments on the first one?
I got nothing for.
I think I'm done. It's just there to build what the third one is, in my opinion, because that's when everything really goes down.
Like,
and develops a story to connect it to the original.
I did like what they did with the Gungans and that, how they brought them together, but I think at the same time it was a bit cheesy. Like, you've got these
a lot of
wacky,
cheesy,
like
a lot of cheesy bits in that movie.
You had all these wacky like monsters, not monsters. What are they? Like
The
aliens.
droids.
No, the Gungans. They're aliens. They're not monsters.
Oh yeah, the aliens.
They're like wacky aliens, and then they're working with Jedis who can, you know, have a lightsaber. I think that was just really crazy. And then that scene though with the droids versus the Gungans, that was pretty cool though.
Yeah.
But again, doesn't really weigh up to being one of the best films, I think.
And in terms, when we talk about characters as well, it is within that movie.
Yeah.
Like if I say, who's an example? Say Anakin, because he's meant to be the main character. That means in that movie, not in general.
Yeah.
Like he might be on my list, and I'll say that later. But it means, obviously. I mean, you probably got that, but obviously it means for that movie. I mean, it has to be for Darth Maul and Qui-Gon because they don't make it any further than that.
That's about it.
Okay, so Attack of the Clones now, I guess.
Attack of the Clones. Well, a lot of people hate it, and I'm going to piss a lot of people off, but a lot of people hate Attack of the Clones. But I honestly think in storyline, it is probably one of the better films. And it's in my top favourites, which we'll get to later. But it's got heaps of character developments about the dark side, about, bounty hunters, clone troopers, which eventually turn into stormtroopers, I think. It gets confusing.
Yeah, they switch over.
And then it's the first time you actually see heaps of Jedi, which I think that was really cool because you don't really get to see everyone holding a lightsaber and that. Like when you're a kid, you always run around with a stick pretending you're a freaking, Anakin Skywalker. But now it's like, you see this in the movie and you're like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. So personally, I think Attack of the Clones, despite what everyone says about it being crap, I think it's pretty good up there.
I do agree. I like Attack of the Clones a lot more than I think the general population would. I mean, when I was younger, when I was probably 10, no, probably younger. When I was about 8, before I really watched the story or anything, that was my favourite.
Really?
Attack of the Clones. Because, I don't know, it was just when they're in the factory and C-3PO's getting his head knocked off and everything. And he gets knocked off and puts on a droid. That was the funniest thing in the world to me when I was younger. I thought that was hilarious. And then, I'm I'm just trying to think of anything that's in that movie. Oh, the thing at the start with protecting Padme was really cool. I think I like that.
I think that's
I don't know. Just overall, I do enjoy watching that movie, and then
I just like
the ending's really. Yeah, I can't follow you there. And the ending is really good, and then it also it builds a storyline. I know not everyone. A lot of people complain that the prequels don't help for the story, but I mean, it shows like Anakin watches his mum. Well, I mean, I guess he watches his mum die because she's not dead yet, which shows why he moves on to turn into what he does.
Rip the sand people. Just rage. What about your
character or scene?
We'll do favorite scene first.
I said the Geonosis battle.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
We got the same. Yeah, we got the same.
Oh, then we're gonna have the same scene. No, we won't have them for everything.
No. Or the next one, I think.
The next one we might, but I had to. Anyway, we'll stick on this one. That was. I mean, Attack of the Clones has been my favorite movie, and that was my favorite scene. So when I was younger, the Geonosis battle was my favorite scene in my favorite movie. I don't know. Got all the Jedi.
Mace Windu as well.
Yep, Mace Windu, Kit Fisto for a bit.
Even after that, it was the whole thing.
Luminara,
yeah,
when she was still alive, and I think it's Barriss. I think he was her apprentice.
Barriss,
who turned into a villain in the Clone Wars, but doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was awesome that they all worked together, and then.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh no, yeah. I've got any extra remarks on that.
Yeah, even after that, even like a lot of people just think when you say the Battle of Geonosis, you think when when all the Jedi fly down and then they battle all the droids. I think it's after that as well, like when they're all on those cruise ships.
Yeah.
All the clone troopers as well getting involved. I really like that when Yoda arrives.
And even the fight at the end with
Dooku.
That's cool.
I like that as well.
Oh, that's when Anakin loses his arm. Yeah, he does. The first time. That's when he loses his arm.
He thinks he's good, and then Dooku just absolutely destroys him.
He makes the funniest noise when he gets like thrown away. I've played it for my dad before when it was on TV.
What about favorite character?
Well, I wrote just then I thought of something different, but I'm gonna stick with this one. And for that movie, I said Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, really? Okay,
but I have another choice now.
Yeah.
Because I just thought of someone that I was talking about. Who's yours?
Okay, so I've got a tie.
Well, okay, I have a tie then too. Okay, I'm gonna say the same thing.
So my tie is Anakin and Padme. For me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mine is neither of them.
Really? Good.
Obi-Wan and Django. I love Django Fett.
Honestly,
Boba Fett.
100%. I love Django.
People say no, Boba Fett did nothing.
I love Django in the film, but if you're talking in the storyline as well, Anakin,
he's a bit useless, but I still love him.
The only reason I don't want to keep saying Anakin too much because he's one of the main characters. He's going to have a important role.
Well, I mean, he turns into Vader soon enough, so that's a different character, I guess.
Yeah.
I just said Obi-Wan. I said Jango Fett because I thought he was awesome. Same as Darth Maul. Only in one, but was really cool. Obi-Wan, I said. I don't know. I love Hayden Christensen's Anakin, but he bitched a bit too much in that one.
Yeah.
But like that's the point of the character. But it's just annoying to watch. But I still liked him. But Obi-Wan, I don't know. I just thought he was really good in that one. He's really good in all of them, but I'd only pick him for this one as the best character.
What you could say for there as well is if you think about from episode 1, where Obi-Wan was pretty, not innocent, but he was very shy. He didn't get too involved.
In the first one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he was learning.
Yeah, he was a Padawan, right?
Then a master, yeah.
But then you see that evolution in episode 2 when he's then he's a teacher. He's more like a father figure to Anakin, which I thought was really cool. But the reason why I chose Anakin and Padme is because it shows that love connection. Yeah. And it's not just that. Like a lot of people, again, they diss it. But I think it's really strong because it separates Anakin as a Jedi, eventually leading him to Darth Vader. And Padme, she actually played a really good role. She was one of the main characters, you could say, but she wasn't like.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
No, she was in that one a fair bit.
That's what I mean.
She had to be in the battle and everything.
And she's the one that sort of stirs Anakin, even Anakin at the end when they're about to enter that arena, and Padme says, "I love you," and whatever. That sort of just pushes Anakin to go against everything a Jedi is. So I think for me, that's why I'm.
Yeah, I can watch that one with. And have fun watching it.
Have fun with it. What are we talking about there?
Episode 3.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to say anything too big because I'll wait for the ranking part.
Yeah.
But I can
What's there to say? What's there to say?
I can watch this movie. I think it's the strongest
This
story
is-
point. Like, people say the originals are, but like, I just don't see that.
No.
Like, it shows the biggest
So
character
much.
that's in the original
Mm.
become that character. Like,
Yeah.
it's just the biggest story for me from start to finish.
And-
Something's just always happening, leading to Anakin becoming Vader, or leading to something that occurs in the originals.
I think personally, like, it's not just about the transition from Anakin into Vader. I don't think that is obviously important, but when you think about the whole scale of like the whole franchise and that,
Yeah.
it shows much more character development and much more like storyline. Like, you think Padme's death, then you think of Obi-Wan. Where did he go after
Yeah.
Anakin? You know, his fight.
Yeah.
You think of Yoda. Like, look at Yoda become this boss to becoming like vulnerable and like deserting. We also see the Battle of Kashyyyk. That was sick. You got a lot more involvement of the clone troopers.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Clone Troopers, the Wookiees.
Count Dooku. Look, the only thing about Revenge of the Sith is they didn't use Count Dooku a bit more than I hoped, because when you watch Clone Wars, obviously Count Dooku's heavily
He's one
involved.
of the main characters.
Yeah.
Main villains.
Main villains. But then in Revenge of the Sith, he's killed pretty early. So that's sort of like, oh, who's the next villain? So everyone jumps to Grievous. Then Grievous gets killed by Obi-Wan. And then we're like,
And
oh,
that's
who's the next
main-
villain?
It's the main one.
And then, boom, get thrown with Anakin.
Now I
So
think about it, Dooku's really not in it that much.
he's not.
Is he in the first? No, he's not even in the.
He's not in the first one.
How's he
He's
introduced in the second one?
He's mentioned as like, because he used to be
A
a
Jedi.
past Jedi, but
Yeah, he's not in as much as I thought, because he's in it for like the second half of the second, and
Yeah.
then the first
that's
15
the
minutes of the third, and then
that's the only thing I was a bit like upset about with episode 3. Like, they could have used Dooku a little bit more.
they could have, but at the same time, I don't really like him either.
Yeah.
No, I guess any Sith in it for longer would be cooler.
Yeah. I think it gives that like thing to chase for, because then for a time, Anakin and Obi-Wan, all they're doing is battling with the Jedi Council. If you think about it, like, they're battling with
Oh god,
themselves.
that's anything that's going to ruin my view on it.
Yeah. But hey, we'll get to the ranking about episode 3, but I think we're gonna have the
Character,
same.
I can promise you it's the same person.
Okay, Anakin.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'll also get another one for that.
Oh, I didn't have it. Mine was easily 100%.
So obviously, Anakin top. Nothing beats Anakin. You see him from this whiny bitch in episode 1 to more of a whiny bitch in episode 2 to like someone who's really like committed
Manipulated.
and then easily manipulated.
Yeah, 100%
And
Anakin.
you also just see, like, we'll get to the fight scene, but you see like how much he's actually grown, and I think like such like really powerful in any movie I've really seen, to be honest. Not just because I'm a Star Wars fan, but in all the movies I've watched.
Yeah.
But I also said Palpatine, and that might like surprise some people.
No, not really.
I think he's one of the best, only because you see him lead into that Darth Sidious, which he's not mentioned in. He's mentioned in episode 4. He's seen in episode 5, but you see this transition from someone who's so suspicious in episode 1 and 2 to finally revealed as the headmaster behind, the
planned everything.
bad
That's
stuff.
right.
Yeah, and you see like he's the cause of everything that's happened, and then you just see, wow, like, okay,
Yeah.
if we just think about the good guys, yeah, Anakin tops it, his transition. But then you also have to think of Palpatine, like the strategies and his just ability to ultimately be like a father to Anakin and just say, yeah, come over here.
And then bullshit about everything he told him.
Exactly right. But
Oh no, there's theories that he killed Padme.
yeah, I did read. Yeah, I saw that. And there's
So-
also a thing about him in, I think in the comics, about him.
Oh, there's so much extra stuff in the
Yeah,
comics.
like about him creating Anakin or something. Because Anakin.
He
didn't
could
have a
have.
father.
Yeah, if you think about it, it could be legit.
So I don't know. But that's going off topic.
Palpatine. Yeah, he would have been still like
Oh yeah.
40, 50.
So wait, would Anakin's dad could be Palpatine?
I hope not, because then that makes Ben Solo and Rey related.
Okay, that's sus. Alright.
Actually, I mean, we've seen siblings kiss in Star Wars regardless.
Luke.
It's no different for them.
And fight scene. Oh, obviously. Okay.
What'd you say?
I said Anakin versus Obi-Wan. 100%.
Okay,
The Battle of
that's-
Mustafar.
yeah.
That was
Mine,
sick.
You know what? Mine probably is that, but I didn't write that. It was just hard to pick one thing. I just chose Order 66, but you're right.
Yeah,
mine's probably Anakin versus Obi-Wan. Like the fight scene goes for 13 minutes because I've watched it many times.
Oh yeah, I think Order 66 was one of the best.
I just love the song with it.
Yeah, that song and the engine
betrayal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's mixed with something else. I searched it up on YouTube like a couple of weeks ago.
I listen to the soundtrack all the time.
I only did it like a couple of weeks, but
it's really peaceful.
Just peaceful.
It's because
he murdered younglings. It's
because it's just audio and it's not words.
Yeah,
like I just listen to it in the background.
No, that's fine.
Mine probably is Anakin Obi-Wan.
Only because it shows the fall of like these two brothers. You see like them develop throughout the movie, and then Anakin's just seduced like that, and then you see them fight, like literally kick the shit out of each other. Anakin ends up chopped up in half, and then there's so much like love for each other still, but I think that was one of the most powerful scenes in the whole.
Yeah, mine probably is Anakin versus Obi-Wan. I almost put something else other than that and mine, which was Anakin turning into Vader on the bed, like the medical bed thing at the very end. When put the legs on him and everything. I don't know, I really just love that too.
That was cool. That was honestly.
And like with Padme, if you listen with earphones, you can hear him breathing. You can hear Anakin breathing, stop breathing, and then breathe again as like Vader now.
Yeah.
So that like Anakin died and Vader was born.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, I think I'd probably stick with Anakin versus Obi-Wan now too.
Yeah, 100%.
Episode 1, 4.
Episode 1.
I don't know what people classified as. I classified as episode 4 because I wasn't alive when they were out, the originals.
I actually did start watching the originals first. So I watched episode 4, 5, 6, then I watched 1, 2, 3.
The first time you ever watched it?
Yeah.
I have no idea what I would have watched first.
No, I remember exactly what I did because I was at my auntie's house.
Oh, maybe I did watch the originals first because my earliest memory of watching it is episode 5 because I was watching the VCR version of it in the front room. Maybe I did. Dad probably got me to watch. Oh well, when I was young, they weren't even all out yet.
No,
Phantom Menace was out when I was born.
Yeah,
Attack of the Clones wasn't out for 2 more years, and Revenge of the Sith wasn't out until I was 5. I probably did watch the originals first.
Yeah, no, I remember it. I watched Revenge of the Sith because when did that come out? 2005. So I watched Revenge of the Sith like 2007, I think, because I watched all the old ones first.
The earliest time I watched Revenge of the Sith was 2008 because I was in grade 2, and we had to write a comic thing from a movie, and I chose the scene where he says I hate you, and my teacher said I shouldn't be saying that. She's like, I try and use like different words so it's not as aggressive. I'm like, that's the scene though. I mean, it's grade 2, I wouldn't have talked back to her, but that's what I remember. Anyway, to actual number 4.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good. Sets up everything pretty nicely. I do think it's a bit boring.
Okay,
I'm not gonna lie. There's just because I was going through it, like I skimmed through it last night on Disney Plus. So like, as you skip through it, the images still come up what it is, and it's just like, I don't know. The whole thing is intro on the Death Star with the 4 main characters, and then the trench run.
Yeah,
that's really it.
There's not much like. Obviously, it sets up everything. It sets up like then when you go to the the prequels and that, and then you watch it and you see all this
all makes sense.
It makes sense, but at that time you're like, okay, what's going on here? There's a lot of mystery behind it, and I think that's why it's really. It is a good film, but at the same time it's boring. But there's not all these huge visual effects. At the end of the day, this was still made in the late 1900s. So
that's the weirdest way of saying it.
What? Late 1900s?
I don't know. I haven't heard people say like
prior to.
Yeah, I know it makes sense. I just haven't heard late 1900s.
Well, think of it. Technology in Revenge of the Sith compared to technology in
the technology was great for the originals. Like they used a lot of it was miniature models.
It was, yeah.
Like the AT-ATs in the 5th one were like little mini scales that only came up to like here, which was awesome. And then they just like I think they blew them up because they were just miniatures. Anyway, We'll go scene first.
Alright, scene.
We probably won't have the same one here.
No.
It's just like really vague.
Yeah, I'd said Vader vs Kenobi.
I was gonna say that, but it's just so slow.
That's what I mean, but again, it's sort of when you watch the movies in chronological order, and this is how I had to consider it. When you see the fight scene in episode 3 compared to the fight scene in episode 4.
I just think a lot of people would be like, if you saw 3 before 4, you watch 3. By the time you get to 4, they're like, oh my god, they're gonna rematch again, and then it's just like. They swing it around. Like, people, I feel like a lot of people would have been let down.
I was tempted to say the trench run when they're blowing up the Death Star.
That did come through my mind as well.
I was gonna say that because it shows the end of the Empire, but not really, only temporarily. But before that, the only reason why I said Vader and Kenobi is because it shows that Vader's overthrown Kenobi now. In episode 3, it was Obi-Wan that had the high ground and he beat Anakin. Then in episode 4, turns it around.
Yeah.
But I think Obi-Wan, obviously he chose that.
I mean, Obi-Wan still outsmarted him both times because like he was fine to die in 4 to let the others escape. So like he still outsmarted him.
Yeah.
And then the third one, obviously, because he cut him up into pieces.
Yeah, and I think that is the first time in the whole Star Wars saga that you see a lightsaber fight. That is the first time.
Yeah, it is. Because when they first come out,
So that's why I chose that.
That's the first time you see lightsabers.
Because it introduces good versus evil.
Well, I did it. Mine was based on introduction as well, because I just said the opening sequence.
Yeah.
Of just when the ship goes to their ship and the stormtroopers break through.
Yeah,
and Vader comes through.
Yeah.
And they question Princess Leia. It's just what I said. I don't know. Opening sequence sets up. It's like the first scene for the first film. In like one of the biggest movie series of all time.
Sure. What about character?
For that one, I said Han Solo.
Really? Okay, that shocks me.
Who'd you say?
I said Kenobi. The only reason why I said Obi-Wan is because his sort of portrayal of Obi-Wan in episode 4 was really like...
The actor?
Yeah. It was very wise. It was very... Even though he was old.
Like he was a guru. Is that what you mean?
No, but this is the reason. Because he was sort of like... It introduced that master, apprentice. It introduced that.
Yeah.
So that's why I said Obi-Wan, because he's like, alright, you see him, he's the one who introduces what a Jedi is. He sort of gives Luke a backstory about his father, which is fake, but he sort of guides Luke on that path, and then we eventually see Luke becoming, Jedi Master and all that.
Yeah.
But I think until then, like Obi-Wan, even, the way he acts around the whole film, like he's always very conservative, he's always very cautious, very, he's also open-minded and proactive a bit, so I think that's pretty interesting about him in terms of characters. So, I said that like a professional.
I just said Han Solo because
it's just dope.
I don't know. I feel like every time I've said a character, it's been the same response, but he's just the most interesting one in that movie to me.
Yeah.
Like he's meant to be an arsehole in that one.
Yeah, but
everyone in that one's meant to be like all goody two shoes and whatever.
Yeah,
but he's like he doesn't give a shit. And then he flies away, and then he comes back is awesome.
Yeah. To
help them, and I don't know. Maybe I just like him because he's still on the good side, but he's not necessarily a good guy straight away. He said he needs the money to take them at the start to pay off Jabba, and he's dead anyway. Yeah. Which isn't necessarily a good thing. So
yeah,
I know it's just probably most interesting to me.
Yeah, but in terms of the whole movie, though, I think like Han Solo is one of the most interesting characters. Yeah. But the way I'm trying to do, I think we've both got very different perspectives on like characters. Yours more is in terms of who makes a big impression. Mine's is more story development, character development.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm considering it like, I know we should be dedicated to one movie, but then when I think about it compared to the movie before and after, that's how I sort of think of it. But again, it's mainly the movie, obviously. Yeah. But
Alright, now episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, which is considered by most the best in the franchise.
If we're talking about originals, I reckon.
Is it your favourite?
In the terms of originals, it's probably one of the best.
I won't say anything because I don't.
I won't say anything. I don't want to ruin the rankings. Yeah. But 100%, it is fantastic for story development. Like you've got you get more of Darth Vader, as in like, you know, more involved and more mysterious. You don't really see that side. You see him more of a dick in episode 4, but then episode 5 he's a bit more like, oh, who is he? Like, what's this with the offspring of Anakin? Who is Anakin? Blah blah blah, stuff like that. You see the reveal of I'm your father, and that's why most people say like that's the best.
You
film.
take that out.
If you take that out,
that's not people's favorite.
Yeah. If you take out I'm your father scene,
and maybe if I got to see it in person, I feel the same. But you take that out, that's not people's favorite movie.
100%.
I don't think so.
But again, you still got really interesting.
But still good movie. Still a pretty good movie.
Because you've still got you still got a really big like a diverge between the main rebels. Like you got Luke going off to one path
on his own, and then everyone else together.
Yeah. But then the best thing is like with Luke and Yoda. Like that's sick, I think. Like,
him training him.
That's what you know, and it builds up more of this hero. Because Luke in the first, the original film, you know, he's a hero, but he's not really heavily involved.
Well,
he's still very like innocent and shy. But then in episode 5, in Empire, he's really like more involved as a hero. And you can forget Cloud City.
With Lando.
That was sick.
I really
and the betrayal there, that was.
Well, the thing with Luke training, I think, is a big downfall of the new ones. Like Rey movies, because she's just like powerful out of nothing,
and you see Luke go through all this, you know, like struggle to become a Jedi.
Yeah, and
then you see like Rey getting like that.
Yeah, like even if she's, I mean, if you're watching this, you've probably seen the latest movie. But even though she's Palpatine's granddaughter, like Luke was Anakin's son, who's meant to be, you know, this chosen one, and he's still trained, which is exactly what this movie showed.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's talking about that one, and we're not talking about those.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Cloud City is really good. I think it helps it a lot.
And it's a bit different. Like you don't really see a lot of massive like civilization and cities everywhere in Star Wars, and then you get this massive like really nice modern city. But then if you compare that to Tatooine, where there are like these little huts and that.
Yeah.
You know, even on what's the snow planet called? I forgot. Hoth. Yeah. And then you've got like, you know, there's nothing there.
Oh, that's at the start of that one too.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for
starting.
Yeah.
Like instant battle scene as well.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes the originals really good, is because they have an instant battle scene. But that's also the same in like the prequels too.
What is the start of the battle scene?
Yeah.
The first one. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. But okay, character for Empire.
Luke.
I said Vader.
Okay.
You explain why you chose Luke.
Yeah, the only reason why I said Luke was because if you think about it, in episode 4, he's like this really innocent hero, if that sort of makes sense. He's not really like heavily involved in standing up. And then in episode 5, you see him going off and battling the, what's it called again? The Wampa?
The Wampa.
Yeah, the Wampa.
I don't know if I say battle with it, he gets pretty messed up by him.
Yeah,
but then cuts his arm.
He sort of just goes and explores on his own. It's a bit more independent, Luke. I think that's
he's by himself that whole movie just about.
In episode 4, he's with people. Apart from the start, he's with everyone. And then in episode 5, he's by himself. He goes with Yoda. And it's this evolution of, you know, one of the biggest. If you walk around when you're a kid and say, oh, who's a Jedi? You say Luke Skywalker, you know?
Oh, you'd probably still say that.
You'd probably, I'd probably still, I don't know.
If you went around and asked people who is the first Jedi,
I'd probably say Luke.
It'd be Luke or Anakin, I think.
For me, it's Anakin, because he's my favourite. Like,
Anakin's my favourite. But if you're asking general...
Yeah, Luke.
I don't know, actually. I don't know at this point.
If you ask 50-year-olds, they're going to say Luke.
They'll say Luke. I just said Vader because he's just a beast in every scene. I don't know how better to put it, but the fight, he's just like... Luke's just like swinging and missing and everything. He just keeps himself so composed.
He's sort of taunting him a bit.
He is a bit, yeah. Well, he does. He tries to get him on the dark side by trying to piss him off and taunt him, and then cuts off his hand to show that he's all business. And then obviously the scene, which is what I said is my favourite scene.
Really?
I said him saying that it's his father.
See, like we said before, if you take that scene out, I don't think it's one of the best films. But
agreed.
What I said in terms of, again, storyline, I said Yoda training Luke. For me, is probably one of the best scenes, only because it shows, this Grand Master of Jedi who's really quirky at the start. You meet him, he's like, okay, can this guy get off my screen? He's stupid.
Who? Yoda.
Oh
yeah, because he said,
he comes across as like an idiot.
He steals his food and everything.
Yeah. And he starts like hitting Arthur with the stick. He's like, fuck you.
Doesn't correlate with the prequels.
Not
like
at all.
not at all. Actually, it's only 30 years later, and he's like 900. Like that's no difference at all. I don't like isolated for 30 years or not. He's not changing like that.
No way.
I never actually thought of that.
Not until you just said that.
No, me either.
But I think honestly, and then you see like this shows the struggles of becoming a good guy and a Jedi and all that. And I think that's why that scene has to be in terms of again development. Like I'd say I'm Your Father scene and that whole fight scene with Luke and Vader was sick.
Yeah.
That was very close between that, but
I mean, still the biggest plot twist in movie history. Like there's no debating that.
Mark Hamill said like
I've seen that.
Yeah, did you see it? He said he couldn't tell anyone. Everyone was pitching what's his name? Obi-Wan is the villain. Killer.
Yeah.
And then
I have seen that.
That was but I see where we're coming from.
In terms of what?
Like you're literally, we've got the same ideas, but you're like more.
I don't know. I went for the dark side for this one. Yeah, you went for the light side.
But I think that sort of covers episode 5.
Yep. All right. Should we move on to the final?
Of the original.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to look for. The word.
Started.
I want to say stuff, but then it kind of ruins my ranking.
Well, yeah. The way we're trying to say it is not anything that changes the ranking yet. Like we're going to say the ranking obviously after, but we want to try talk about the plot mainly, not about what we're.
Yeah.
I think we're talking too much about our opinions.
Anyway, we're going to be there soon anyway.
Yeah.
But Return of the Jedi is, I really enjoy it. It starts off with the sail barge thing, which is really cool, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the start of it last night and then I gave up. But that's not because I don't like it. I don't know. To watch the whole thing, I feel like you need to be like in the mindset.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't last night. But I did watch this. I watched up until like Luke was in the not the Sarlacc, the other monster thing. Whatever it's called, like he drops Luke down through it.
Yeah,
and then he opens the door to kill the thing.
Yeah,
I got to talk about that. But it's really, I like that it starts off like that, and then what does it go to next? Endor.
Okay, look, Endor. Okay.
I do still like it, but
I like it, but I think honestly that it just shows like a freaking cute little teddy bear.
I knew you were gonna say that. That's what my dad always says.
It's true though. Like a cute little teddy bear. I love the Ewoks.
Taking down stormtroopers.
They take down stormtroopers who have blasters. It doesn't make sense.
Say that he hates that bit.
I think it's kind of stupid in a way, but it's also funny. If you think about episode 1, Phantom Menace, they got Gungans. And you got someone like Jar Jar, who takes down.
I guess they're taking down droids. And he's doing it by accident. He's like, oh whoops.
Yeah.
Throws a bomb or whatever.
But then these Ewoks are actually more involved. And again, it's correlation with episode 1. It sort of says that really big similarity and repetition of creatures and the good guys getting together. So I think that was really cool. But again, it's like, was it necessary to have Ewoks take down the Empire?
I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of it was because episode 5 is definitely the dark movie.
And then episode
and episode 6 with the Ewoks
sort of
just like, uplifting a bit.
It's uplifting and sort of liberating.
When Luke gets to the Death Star from then on is really cool.
Yeah.
Him the Emperor, trying to persuade him and whatnot.
See, I remember reading something where it's like about with Luke how he had that his like little vest
open.
No, closed, sorry. When he had it closed, people were thinking he was actually going to shift to become a Sith.
It's all black.
Yeah. That's apparently that was all the symbolism and shit. But apparently when he had it open, that revealed that he was a true Jedi or something. True Jedi reminds me of Lego Star Wars. Yeah.
Maybe that could be real. Like in the movie, it might be closed a bit when he's like getting aggressive, and then be open when he's.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think that fight, like, again, Return of the Jedi is a great film. Like, one of the best Star Wars films they've made, I personally.
Yep.
But in terms of the whole plot, like, you've got this sort of uncertainty about, Darth Vader being actually Luke's father. You see that sort of conflicted bond between them. And then you've got the Emperor, like...
I mean, you also don't know what's going to happen, because there's a
don't
few options. Either Vader can go good, Luke can go bad, or anything, any possible other thing that could happen.
Yeah.
They could all die, or...
Exactly. And I think the end again, like with the Death Star blowing up, I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
Like they had to improvise about, trying to blow it up, and I think that was... Is it?
What is that? I don't know, I was watching The Bug. And even though it's like they blow up the Death Star again, it's the same thing. It doesn't feel repetitive.
Yeah.
Because the first one was the trench run, and then the second one... Oh, actually, I guess the second one's a trench run too, but... I don't know, it doesn't feel repetitive to me, that's a good thing.
Yeah. What about your favourite character?
I said Luke for that one.
I said Vader.
Oh my God. Well, no, but it makes sense, because we're not going to repeat the same character twice.
The only reason why I said Vader is because he's sort of he's redeemed.
Yeah, his redemption. I do like this story. I do like those kind of redemptions.
That's the only reason why. Luke is more of a badass.
That's pretty funny. I don't know. Luke's just like, I don't know. The final fight scene has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
But him also doing everything at the start to save them all from Jabba in the sail barge.
Yeah.
Is a big reason for it as well. That's funny though. And who'd you say for episode 4?
Obi-Wan.
Oh, so we had different people for that one.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, okay. Scene.
Obviously Luke as Vader. I think that was pretty cool. The only reason why is because it shows father, like he trying to kill his son.
Father, son.
But it shows master, like the central master in the whole thing. You've got Palpatine like,
just watching.
just watching, family fighting. And he's just sitting there like laughing.
Family affairs. Well, he's trying to get Luke the same way he got Anakin.
Yeah.
To turn him over by destroying who he has at the moment.
Yeah.
With Dooku.
And then you just see like Palpatine get so cocky and think that he's gonna win either way. If Luke dies, then okay, he's still got Vader. If Vader dies, he's got Luke now. Yeah. Sith. But then that changes completely.
Assuming that Luke would turn if he had won.
Yeah.
I said the ending.
I
absolutely love the music. I love, and then to have Hayden Christensen come up as a Force ghost is just.
Do you reckon though?
Topping on the cake.
Do you reckon that if they didn't have Hayden Christensen in that Ghosts, it'd still be your favourite scene?
No.
Yeah.
I'd love it because it's Hayden Christensen. I think it's awesome.
I think it was cool.
And then the fact the original version that didn't have Hayden Christensen also had a different song.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why I chose that one too. So no, I don't really have to choose because that's the version I come up with. But that's just it, because of the music and bringing Hayden Christensen back. Like, I can see why people don't like it, because it kind of doesn't make sense at the same time, because that's when he was good, but then like he's also good when he redeemed before he died. Yeah, which is what the original version was. But I'm not complaining, because that's by far the favourite scene. The music, and then Anakin coming up when Luke's looking over him.
No, I see where you're coming from with that though. So
we're done with prequels and
what is it?
Prequels and originals.
Prequels, originals. Now
sequels time. Oh, we're gonna lose a few viewers on this one.
Yeah.
Nah.
Now, okay.
Okay. Episode 7, Force Awakens.
Okay. Before we start with the sequels, right? I think the sequels were good, considering it's completely like different.
Considering it's their own thing, it's 30 years later. They're different directors.
But if you compare the similarity between the originals and prequels, it sort of goes off track completely.
I'm gonna.
It sort of ties in a little bit, but if you think it's the next generation, so you have to be appreciative of that. But I think it's a bit like you miss the nostalgia in
Yeah, you don't get much of that in. Oh no, I will talk about something.
They do reference it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, episode 7.
Episode 7. Yeah.
When it came out, loved it. Still love it. One of my favorites. Really? I thought, because at that time, before you watch the next two, they seemed to have the story fine. They knew where they were going. Yeah. And then they didn't let J.J. Abrams do the whole trilogy, and it would have been a lot different if he did. Still one of my favorites, and I like the introduction of the new characters. Yeah. Rey being overpowered is a bit stupid, but I don't think she's crazy overpowered in that one. I like the other ones. No. What else? I have heard people say that it's like A New Hope, but I don't see that.
I don't know.
The only thing that really comes to mind is that it's a new hero being trained by someone older.
Yeah.
Because it's like Obi-Wan and Luke, and then
now it's Han
Han
Solo.
in turn, and Rey.
Yeah.
But I really like it. They have a pilot as main character. That's cool. They have a scavenger. They have a stormtrooper. I just wish they did more with Finn's character.
Yeah.
I still love Force Awakens. It does suck a bit now that the other two weren't great, but it's still up there.
And who can forget? We got Kylo Ren. You know, introduction of some new villain.
Single-handedly carried that trilogy on his back by the time it got to the 9th one.
And the new lightsaber as well. Like that's completely different.
Yeah, that was a new concept that we hadn't seen yet.
Completely different. Like we got the double decker.
We had the double bladed. We had just the normal.
You know, the Count Dooku's all curved.
It's like the tilted one, tilt, whatever.
And then you've got Kylo Ren's got 3.
Were Rebels before? Yeah, I guess Rebels before. Ezra's was with the gun, but that's just because he made it.
But I think in terms of
it was
movies,
cool to see.
Because
I've read a book, and the reason that is because the crystal was. I think it was because the crystal wasn't pure. Because you know how it when it lights up, this bits spit all over the place. He had to have those kind of energy port bits because it could. I don't know why, but it couldn't be straight. It had to have more bits to breathe, I guess, which is why it had the side bits.
Who did you say was your favorite?
For this one, I said Rey. For this one, not all of them.
Okay. I said Finn.
Really?
Only because
I did not like Finn the first couple of times.
Really?
Yeah. But no, I do now because that's the one he got the most character development from. But
the only reason why is because he shifted. He came across as this person who was so scared, so terrified. He just wanted to escape. What's it called?
The First Order. Yeah.
Right. He just wanted to leave that all behind. But then you've got him at the end of the movie. He's with the Resistance.
Yep.
He's actually
doing
taking
everything
his
he can to
stance.
save some of them.
And you see that more in the other movies, which we'll get to. But in terms of this movie, I think it was it brought the Disney vibe of humor and all that, you know, into.
They all did it a lot, but that one landed.
Even with him and Han Solo, when he's like, oh, let's just use the Force, and then Han Solo's like, that's not how the Force works.
Or even calling him Captain Solo.
Captain
or whatever.
Solo,
Yeah, that was good.
I think he was just sort of a cool character. And he introduced something different. If you think about Episode 4, they're mainly all heroes, apart from Han Solo, who's sort of But then he's completely he was with the First Order, even though he was a bit conflicted. But then eventually shifting to the good side, which I think was pretty cool.
I just liked Rey in that one because it was just a new Jedi.
Yeah.
And I don't think she was crazy overpowered in that
not
one.
Not in Force Awakens.
Like the following few, and I don't know. The movie was obviously just all about her.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, but I don't really think I'd count Finn. Actually, no, you'd have to. There's a few main characters, but Rey. I don't know. I just like her in that one.
One thing we also forgot was Snoke in Force Awakens. So he comes across as this new emperor, right? But then there's nothing about him. We got no backstory.
That's why 7's good as a standalone.
And then we all
I'd
think
rather
of
watch it as a standalone sometimes.
Exactly. But that's what I mean. Snoke's just this evil villain now. We're like, oh, who is he? Who is he? And the next film we'll talk about that when he gets to it.
In the next film he was alright, but then after that, don't get me started on the Knights of Ren.
Oh no.
Scene for Force Awakens, ours won't be the same.
Really? Okay.
Maybe?
I said Rey and Finn versus Kylo Ren.
Okay, that's the main battle. Yeah, that's fair enough.
I said the main battle.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because Finn does a lot of it before Rey starts.
Yeah.
Oh, when she grabs the lightsaber.
And that's also why
with the music.
Finn.
That's awesome.
That's also why I said Finn because he stands up to Ren.
He gets a hit on him.
Yeah.
And if you watch the background, he just stands there.
And he's actually
stands there and holds it while Kylo fixes himself.
Yeah,
it's pretty stupid.
He's alright with the lightsaber considering he's not a Jedi and he's not just given the role. So
yeah. I said the bridge scene, as in when
with
Han gets killed.
Yeah.
Him and Kylo talking to each other was I just thought it was really cool.
I was gonna say that
because Harrison Ford is obviously a great actor. Adam Driver is now one of my favorite actors, and it was just the two of them was just really cool.
Yeah.
Like the emotion and everything, and then holding the lightsaber and just sticking it through him, and then him falling. And
I remember
when I first saw it, not knowing what I mean, I had a feeling he was going to die because I didn't really see a situation where they both walked away unharmed, and obviously they weren't going to kill Kylo that early on.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. Does this bore you?
No, I'm on a long day, mate.
Yeah.
No, I think I have to agree with you then as well. As I remember I was in the theatre with my auntie watching it, and I remember saying, "What'd you do?"
And nothing. It was wall on it or something.
I get easily distracted.
Anyway, continue.
I remember in the theatre when I saw like the red light, just hover over Kylo Ren. I knew he was dead.
Yes, it had the light was on.
Yep.
Han Solo for a bit. The dark was on him, and then by the time he was holding the lightsaber, it was all dark.
I'm like, he's dead. I'm like, he's gone. And then he dies.
Yeah, and then.
But overall,
which leads to your scene, so we're not far off anyway.
Exactly, and overall, I think Force Awakens is really good to introduce a new, new series,
generation,
new 3-episode series. So.
Yeah. Episode 8. The scene that I chose was the easiest one, by far, that I had to do. Like, to come up for my favourite scene for each one, this was the easiest by far.
Yeah.
Because it's honestly probably my favourite scene in any Star Wars.
Actually,
maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but
that's a stretch.
No, maybe not
ever.
That is a stretch.
But
it's one.
Alright, in the final 3 films that they made, is it your favourite scene?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Mine might be the same then.
Because of not knowing what was going to happen after.
Yeah.
Anyway, Last Jedi.
Okay.
First time I saw it, sucked.
Yeah.
Because it was just not what I expected. It was a huge letdown.
Mm-hmm.
Now watching it, it's not as bad. No, I can't say it's not as bad. Like, it's good, but
it's still okay. It's disappointing.
It's just disappointing is a good word. It just let down on so many things.
But I don't want to ram on it too hard, because at the end of the day, they tried something different. It didn't work. It didn't connect. But at the end of the time, you got to appreciate that they tried. Like, I understand what they did with that casino planet.
That was what ruined it.
That was just like, you've got all these.
I watched that again the other night. It's useless, because the whole thing they're there to do is get this code breaker.
Yeah.
Who they don't get anyway.
They don't get. Yeah.
I mean, they get someone else who oh my god, he's got to be my most hated character.
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, his character, the stutterer.
Yeah.
I hate his character.
So dumb, like pointless. He comes across as
absolutely
this,
pointless,
huge guy.
and he doesn't come. He betrays them to his payment and doesn't come back. So I hate his character.
Like, in a way, it shows we see Luke, right? And that's what we forgot to say in episode 7 about Luke. But again, there was this mystery about Luke, and then in episode 8, Luke's just sort of turned away. That's what I did like in episode 8, is what they did with Luke. Because most people would have expected going into Last Jedi saying, oh, Luke's going to come and save the day. He's going to beat the shit out of Snoke and Kylo Ren. Done. End of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But they sort of dehumanized Luke in a way. They sort of made him go like, alright, he's not a Jedi anymore. He's still got the Force. He's still got all this. He's literally in isolation. Do we ever see... It sort of resembles after Order 66, but that passed. That was ages ago. This is new. So he's saying this is much more dangerous now with the First Order, which is a bit, again, debatable. But I think what they tried doing with Luke was pretty good. Considering the film, it sucked. Like, for me, I think it sucked. The Porgs, okay, I love them. Like,
the Porgs don't have any effect. Like, people were having a sook about them, and like,
they're having a sook, but I love them.
It's just a new animal that doesn't affect the story.
It doesn't affect the story. It was just funny. Like, it was something comedic. Even with Rey and Luke, that training, I think that was rushed. Like, Rey became someone who didn't understand anything, too naive, to becoming such a badass who just could crack the grid or whatever. But yeah.
I'll say things I did like with it.
Yeah.
I liked the Rey Kylo connection, like the Force bond thing.
Oh, I
with,
forgot about that.
Ben Swallow with his fucking belt wasting on. What is it's? Because everyone thought his pants were just really high up at first, but it was a bandage strap as well.
I thought it was just like a belt.
No, I think his pants go up to like his hips maybe, but then it's a bandage strap because of when he got shot or whatever. That was cool. The last 30 minutes, no, it's probably close to like 40. The last 40 minutes are amazing. In my opinion. It's just,
I think
the first 3/4 just sucked.
Yeah, I didn't. Like, I get what they tried to do. A lot of characters were just undermined. Like Finn, for example. I think he was not used at all.
His only job was the casino thing.
And that was
the worst
shit.
part.
I didn't like.
That's not because of him either.
And I don't want to screw like Rose's character, but I think she was pointless. She didn't do anything for the scene. And I'm not offending the actress, but I'm saying that her character had no purpose at all, apart from making Finn sort of like
give him his own. Yeah, she didn't have to be there. Anyway.
But even with Leia, her being a bit inactive for a little bit.
Was that the one where she was flying through?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Because Solo, Ben Solo, what is it? With his TIE fighter or something.
It wasn't him though. He was
Wasn't
gonna no, because he had his finger on the trigger. And
Oh, so it wasn't him?
No, he didn't blow out the ship.
Oh no!
So I watched this one the other
wasn't.
night too. He was gonna let it slide, but then another one came past.
That's right.
And blew
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Which is another thing that I like was getting to see Kylo fly.
Yeah.
Because Anakin was meant to be the best pilot. No, he's not actually. They've said that. Do you watch Rebels?
I did.
Do you know the characters?
No.
You know, Hera. She's like the Twilight with the. She's green.
Oh yeah, the green one.
They've said she's the best pilot.
No.
Like the multiple directors have said she's the best pilot
Really?
in the whole universe.
They can't.
Star Wars
They
universe.
can't. Oh yeah, Anakin.
But like obviously Anakin's an amazing pilot, so Kylo was too, and to get him to see him fly around and then do the twirls as well.
No.
That was cool. Getting to see him fly.
Sort of resembles like his grandfather.
Yeah,
you know, which is
absolutely.
pretty cool. Do character first.
Mine's Kylo for this one.
Really?
Is yours Ray?
No. Yeah. Okay. Mine's Ray.
Is it? Everything's the opposite every time.
But I've also got Poe. The only
I just
reason-
liked Poe the whole way throughout.
Yeah.
But he was never my favourite character.
I don't think like he's not my favorite. Ray's my favorite in episode 8 because it resembles Luke's training in episode 5. But again, it was a bit rushed. I think it was a bit rushed, and she's just given this thing. Like as a Jedi, you got to fight for it, but you got to earn it. I think she did earn it to some extent, but again,
I mean, at least she earned a little bit in this one.
yeah. But again, she sort of steps up. You know, she goes against Snoke and all that. She confronts Kylo and all that. And then she saves everyone from was it Crate? The planet Crate?
Yeah.
Yeah, she saves people from there. And I think that was really cool. And that again, that bond between her and Kylo, that was really interesting.
What you were talking about? Oh, are you done with the character?
Well, with Poe though. The only thing with
Oh,
Poe,
right, yeah.
right. I wouldn't say he's the best character in the film. The only thing why I said to tie because again it shows it shows his sort of traits of like Han Solo, very like rebellious a bit. And it shows him trying to really step up and be a big leader in the film.
He actually got a bit to do in 8.
Yeah, and even Leia mentions it at the end where they're like, "I'll follow him" or something.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool because it shows that he's probably next in line for leadership, which we see in episode 9, which we'll get to.
Eventually.
But I think in terms of that, yeah, Poe, he was actually pretty decent. I enjoyed his performance.
Okay, well, what you said about Ray going against Snoke leads on to my scene, and what's yours?
Yeah.
It's got to be the same.
It's the same, yeah.
What is it?
It's the fight scene.
Yes,
It's
the
Snoke's
fight scene when Kylo teams up with
sick.
Ray is amazing.
I
In the
love-
movie, I went with my sister and my dad, and I think I did something because Emma turned to me and she was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I don't know. I must have like whacked the chair or I did something because it was just amazing to me, and it still is.
It was one of the better fight scenes in the whole series. I think it was really cool, well coordinated. It brought back that energy. I think.
Yeah.
Because the originals again, it was really slow fighting. The only fast one was with Luke and Vader. In a little bit in episode 5, most of it was sort of slow. Episode 6 was sort of fast. Again, it was slow.
Yeah.
But then this one was really quick.
Yeah. And
They were getting outnumbered, and I love the scene where I think was it Ray threw the lightsaber, and then Kylo.
My dad loves that scene too.
Yeah,
Just
that's.
from-
And it goes straight through the face.
That was just
But
amazing.
Also, and that sort of, precedes Snoke's death. Like we see this massive figure being such a, you know, like, ooh, Supreme Leader, he's the baddest bitch now, and then he gets killed like that. Like,
Yeah.
I can never be betrayed, and then Kylo Ren just kills him.
Well, I mean, actually, no, I guess I'm not even going to try and defend them.
No.
But that was just like, because at that point, I'm like, oh my god, he's going to turn good.
I was convinced he was going to turn good, and then they had that.
He didn't straight away.
That was, yeah.
That
bit was
by far that was
yeah.
the easiest scene for me to pick.
100%.
All right, final Skywalker story. Rise
Alright.
of Skywalker.
A lot of people.
I still don't know if I have a formed opinion on it. Because
I don't, because at the end of the day, walking out of the cinema, I originally thought it was probably in the top 3.
I remember you telling me.
I told
thought
you
it was
straight
really
away
high
after
up,
I
and
watched it.
I knew it wasn't that high up
Yeah.
for me.
Then I watched it a couple more times. I've watched it another 2 times since then. Personally, I don't think it is in the top 3, but it is good. It ties up all the loose ends in Star Wars. It's sort of I use the word redeem a lot. It redeems
Yeah, I mean
itself.
the whole thing is a story about redemption if you think about it.
Yeah, but it redeems
In
itself
all
from
of
the failure of episode 8. I don't think it was a failure, but it wasn't as good compared to everything else. You know, you've got episode 9 sort of brought back that energy, still comedic, but it was also good in storyline as well. Like you had the end, eventually you have, and they brought back the Emperor. Like that was sick.
Yeah.
I
I saw that in the trailer.
When I heard his laugh in the trailer, I literally I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what is this shit? Like, and there's my nerdy side coming.
I remember I said to you, don't watch it.
Yeah.
I came over
Yeah.
so we could watch it.
And I was like,
I remember saying, because I watched it.
Yeah.
I honestly remember texting you. I'm like, don't watch it. Oh no, I was like, have you watched it yet?
Yeah.
And you were like, no. I'm like, don't watch it.
And then you
Because I'm
came
coming over,
yeah.
and then we watched it.
And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I
I don't know what I would say about this one.
would you say
I just don't know.
Would you say
Okay,
the
one bit I hate
Yeah.
is Maz giving Chewie the medal.
I can't remember that.
It's at the end after they've all won and everything. When like Rey comes back and they're all hugging, Maz gives Chewie the medal that they got in episode 4. Oh my god! I know that it's fan service and stuff. I hate it because like it's just not needed. It's there because people are pissed that Chewie didn't get a medal. I hate it. I hate it.
Chewie get? Oh no.
He didn't get a medal in the start, and then
Yeah.
I don't know why I hate it so much, but I really do. I just don't like that he's just all of a sudden getting it too. Like I love it. Most of the time, I love it when they do like fan service stuff. Like if I think of like Endgame.
Oh.
With the fan, like that's just I love all of that, all of
fantastic.
Endgame with the fan service, but this one just I just hate it.
I see where you're coming from.
I'm trying to think of what else.
I see what they tried to do again with the Kylo Ren and Rey connection, and it shows Kylo Ren as this massive evil villain now, and then that changes. Like he becomes a good guy, and that's just after a fight with Rey, and then he becomes this good guy. Like, and bringing back Han Solo.
Yeah, to bring Solo back.
That was fantastic. I did not expect. I did not see that
on the
coming.
bridge.
I did not see that coming because I thought Harrison Ford was completely done with Star Wars.
I mean, he seems to say it every time he's on the
Says it every time, but then
Yeah.
comes back and pulls off that. So I'm like, holy shit. And you know the whole. I really like the depiction of what was the planet again? Exegol, that Sith planet. I love that one.
Oh, that movie started off great.
Yeah, the
Straight away, Kylo in the dark
Yeah.
with the Emperor. That was a cool way to start.
That was cool.
Alright, character.
Kylo Ren.
I just said Ben Solo.
Yeah, same thing. So
Is it though?
yeah.
Because I'm talking about
Okay,
when he's
okay.
Ben Solo.
Oh, when he's Ben Solo.
Yes. Okay, I'll go.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll say my scene.
You say yours.
My scene is just Ben Solo onward. I just said Ben Solo returning. So from his conversation with his dad on the bridge to the end. Because when like we'll say Adam Driver. Whenever Adam Driver is playing Ben Solo, not Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like I love him being Ben Solo because him coming to help Rey and then saving her in the long run. So my character is Ben. Like it's not Kylo, it's Ben. And scene is just him. It'd be from when he throws his lightsaber into the water
and then
until he dies.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough.
All they had to do was add him as a ghost at the end. And just would have made it so much better because it would have been like my episode 6 favorite scene.
Do you think though?
Oh, that's what I had to say.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say
you know when Rey said, "And I have all the Jedi" or whatever.
Yeah.
I reckon that scene they should have had all the Jedi ghosts.
Yeah, they should have.
And all the Sith ghosts.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, that movie is a lot like Episode 6.
Yeah.
Because the ending, it's against the Emperor both times. The villain of the series becomes a hero, helps the hero who's been the whole time, which was Luke and Rey.
Mm-hmm.
The villain sacrifices themselves to save the hero. The hero flies away in a ship. You see them fly away in a ship, and Force ghosts appear at the end.
Yeah,
like
true.
It's the ending is just so similar,
Adding on to that.
and they're all just celebrating at the end too.
Yeah, but were you a bit like pissed off when she said Rey Skywalker?
I didn't care.
To be honest,
She-
I thought it was kind of cool. I got a bit of goosebumps, like, oh, that's kind of cool. But then thinking over it, I'm like, okay. if
I
you
know.
think about
I know what I'd rather her say.
What would you say? Rey Solo?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would have loved it if she said Solo,
Because she
because
said Rey
she was with
Solo.
Han Solo a lot of the time, and then Ben she ended up working with. Like, I know she was with Luke, but like Solo and Leia for the fact, like it's.
Yeah.
Would it have been Leia Solo or Skywalker by the end of it? I mean, it could have been either, I guess, because
Yeah.
after you get married, you can.
But if
change
you
your
think
name.
about it though, like Leia's Rey's, you know, like teacher, it's like the new Luke for Rey now.
Wait,
We figure out that Leia's a Jedi.
no, she doesn't have any. I was trying to think if Rey had connection to Leia, but no, she doesn't.
No, she don't. No. But it just shows, like, I think the ending though, it shows how dark Star Wars is. It shows like the good guys, you know. Anakin.
I don't know what I would rate it, but say I would rate it like
Yeah.
6 out of 10. I'd go up a whole level to like a 7 out of 10 if they just added Kylo as a ghost.
That's good. Yeah.
That's all I wanted.
That'd be cool.
That's all I wanted, and they just didn't do it.
Yeah. That I was
The
disappointed.
ending is just not, to me, the ending is just not a Goosebumps type ending.
I loved how they had the voices. The voices.
The
did
voices were
satisfy.
awesome because,
Yeah.
because like after the fact that I've watched, I haven't watched all the Rebels, but a fair bit.
Yeah.
You hear Kanan's voice too,
Yeah.
and Ahsoka's in it.
Ahsoka's in
Yeah,
it.
that was cool.
Obi-Wan was in it.
Yep, Obi-Wan, Mace
McGregor's,
Windu,
Hayden
Yoda,
Christensen.
everything. Oh,
Yeah.
they brought Hayden Christensen back. All
I
they
was
needed
happy
was him
with
as a
that.
ghost or
Yeah.
whatever.
I was
But
happy with that.
you know what, his voice, that was good enough.
But going back onto what you said about Kylo Ren, I think it's right about that as well. Like because at the end of the day, I'm talking about Kylo Ren's evolution as in the character as well to Ben Solo. So I'm including Ben Solo too. Like from the start, it's literally the reverse of what happened to Anakin, but it's also similarity of what happened to Anakin in Episode
Well, I
6.
mean,
because if you think about it, it's
you're right, but at the same time, what happened to Anakin has already happened to Kylo. Oh no,
Yeah.
it's the exact same story.
it is.
They started off good,
Yeah.
then they got turned by
Bad.
someone bigger, which was
Yeah.
Snoke and the Emperor,
Yeah.
and turned back at the end to save. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't
So-
realize it was that similar.
But what
And
I said,
you said your character was Kylo, and then
Yeah.
what was the
my
scene?
scene is pretty much with Ben Solo, but it's also Rey and Ben Solo versus Palpatine because it shows the destruction of the Sith
I
finally.
mean, yeah, that's included in mine because it's just whatever Ben Solo was in.
Yeah, and the death scene. I think that was it was pretty cool, but I would have preferred if Rey died. It made more sense, but
They would have gone like.
That's just being
what's the
critical.
best way to say it? Killing Rey instead of Kylo would have been like it's not what people would have expected.
no, that's what I
Which
mean.
was like it would have helped their case because it would have been like, oh wow, I didn't expect them to do that.
Yeah,
And then Rey would have died. Kylo could have trained himself to be a Jedi again, and I just think it would have ended much better. But they went the safe route with killing Ben,
it did
and-
work though. It had a bigger impact, obviously. But
killing Ben and keeping
yeah,
Rey alive.
and that's the
Anyway, that's the Skywalker saga sorted.
And then, we got the 2 solo films that they made.
I guess Rogue One first because that was our
Yeah, we'll
first.
do Rogue One.
All right. First time I saw Rogue One, hated it.
Exact same.
Absolutely
I
hated
hated it. I never thought this would be a good film.
No,
I've
it's
watched
so
it.
boring.
I've watched it 4 times now.
And your thoughts now?
I actually love it.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. Same with me. It is
Because
in my top 5.
It's just
which I'll get
because
to
of
later.
it's just because of like the mindset you went in with. I
Yeah.
went in with, and there was no similar characters,
No.
no lightsabers.
No.
It's
Apart
just,
from Darth Vader at the end.
I mean,
But again, like in terms of storyline, holy shit, like that was amazing. Between the end of Revenge of the Sith to the start of New Hope,
yeah.
you see
you know, the whole thing about the Death Star. Like, what is the Death Star? And
why it has a thing in it that they blew up somehow in episode 4. Like, why would that be in it?
yeah,
A way for them to destroy it.
and we're not always
Galen
used to
designed it
seeing.
that way.
Yeah, we're not also used to seeing two main, what do you call them? Protagonists? You know,
As in
heroes?
Jin and Cassian.
You never see main two characters.
I mean, I liked everyone in the whole group.
I think it was cool. Even director, what is it? Director
Krennic,
Krennic?
yeah, I like Krennic
I think it was
too.
pretty cool. Served his purpose.
I mean, I like that actor anyway. He's in a lot of things that I
Yeah.
enjoy me.
Overall, though, Rogue One, like it said, you know, it was,
Definitely grew on me because
did.
I hated it the first time I saw it in the movies.
and I think that's what makes it so unique. And that's what, if we compare that to Last Jedi, though, like Last Jedi, they tried to include so much, but they just failed.
Well,
They couldn't incorporate it.
yeah,
Rogue One, they tried incorporating this sort of stuff, but it worked. It was tangible.
yeah.
And the storyline though was pretty good.
I mean, I'm relating a lot of it to my dad because he watched them all when he was young, but he said that felt like a true Star Wars movie
It did.
because it's just
It was
because like
you know,
he doesn't hate the sequels, but they're by far not his favorite.
obviously. Yeah.
He's like one of those OG fans.
Yeah.
His favorite's Empire. I already know that.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the Ewoks, which is a big consensus as well.
Mm-hmm.
He just said that one felt like a real Star Wars movie,
Which
whereas
is-
the
yeah.
sequels don't.
I could probably see where he's coming from though. So.
Yeah, so can I. I mean, that one, because of no huge fight scenes, that one relied on story. Like it had to, or else it would have sucked.
Yeah. What about your favorite character?
It was all over the shop. I said K2SO.
That's
I
what I
said the
said,
robot.
yeah.
Did you? But I also
that.
really liked the pilot.
Yeah.
Odie. He was
he
my second.
Yeah.
I really like the pilot. I don't know why. I mean, I like all of them.
Yeah, I just like the character, but I think K2SO was
He's
it was fun. It was a funny draw. It was just sick.
He didn't have to force the jokes.
No, it just came out naturally, and the guy, you know, he just played it off so well. Him and Cassian, you know, really worked. I think.
Yeah.
What about your ending? That's what I
Ending
said.
or the scene?
For my
The
scene,
ending,
I said the ending.
as
scene.
in with Leia or with Vader?
Vader.
Oh, 100%. That's what I
Yeah.
said.
So
Him
we're on the same
like
page for
you
Rogue
get
One.
to really see what he can be like because you hadn't seen that in the originals.
Yeah, the original Darth Vader is like, oh yeah, but you know, and it also shows that really quick lead into A New Hope. But it's you never see Vader being so fierce.
Yeah.
So,
Like you're meant
what-
to
what
be
he's known for.
terrified watching it.
he's known for like the Jedi killer or something, the Jedi murderer or
Yep.
something. He had this nickname, and you see that really brutal, savage side of Darth Vader,
that
which
was awesome.
fantastic.
Just like you hear them breathing first before
Oh.
anything else, and the
And then-
lightsaber, and then
yeah,
I saw a thing the other day that different hand signals when they're like forcing something mean different things. And there's one point where he had a guy on the roof, I think, or no, the guy he was holding up, and the normal thing is just like that or whatever. But he did a different command, which was like to crush his neck.
shit.
So
I
like,
didn't know that.
and then he like stabbed the guy through the wall when they were, and even the rebels as like extra actors, I thought did really well.
Yeah,
Because they like
yeah.
genuinely were like acting terrified, which is what they were meant to be.
Yeah,
That scene was awesome.
and I'm also not a big fan of bringing characters who've been like in real life deceased, like Princess Leia and
Oh.
Moff Tarkin.
She looked alright in that.
But it was alright. It worked. It worked. They didn't have to overdo it. I think it worked for
I
the
mean,
duration though in the movie.
Leia was good for the little bit she was in because
Yeah.
they didn't have to put her in the rest, which they
No.
did, which was good. But then yes, it makes sense that she has the plans
Yeah.
leading on to the next one.
And, it sort
And
of
then
ties
Grand
in.
Moff Tarkin was like he had to be in that movie because
Yeah.
it had to show how he got control of that, like because he fucked over Krennic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was. I thought they both looked fine.
Yeah. I think they were
I
alright.
think in episode
yeah.
9, when they do that flashback scene of them fighting, do you remember that? When they show them Luke and Leia both younger.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
looked a bit off.
That looked off. Rogue One it didn't though. Rogue
no,
One
I
it
thought
looks
Rogue,
very,
yeah, I thought
very
Rogue One was
good.
alright.
That
that's it.
Sums it up for Rogue One. Rogue One was again, I reckon first time you watch it, probably not that good because it's different, very different.
It's a
but
different style.
watch it again. Oh my god, it was great.
Yeah. Alright, Solo.
So
How many days ago was the first time you watched Solo?
3 days ago now.
Holy shit.
So I watched Solo 3 days ago, and
Did you watch it like start to finish, no
Yeah.
breaks?
Yeah.
Okay.
now I did like it.
Yeah.
I did dislike it, but you know,
Would you say you didn't like it?
no, I did like it, but at the same time, I was like, oh, it's a bit.
Okay.
It was cool though. It showed Han Solo.
Showed some good stuff.
Showed the development of Han Solo. You know, getting more involved in the you know, the what do they call them again? There's this word they call them.
Resistance.
No.
Republic.
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like it's like his title of a job. Smuggler, is it?
Scoundrel.
Scoundrel.
Of what Han Solo is.
Yeah,
he's a scoundrel.
Is it scoundrel? Okay.
Not really in that one, but on the later ones he is.
Yeah, well, it sort of leads into that, like getting more involved in the business or whatever.
There were a lot, like, I do like Solo.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know how to word it. It's just how he acted.
Yeah. At
some points, like I thought he was good for majority of it. At some points, don't relate to how he would act in 4.
Yeah.
Because like in 4, his whole philosophy is just getting enough money to pay off stuff, and then in Solo, he gives away I think it was 60 million credits worth of it, and they give him one little thing which he says is worth 10,000.
Yeah.
Saying that still, I did like obviously that wasn't the actor's choice. Like I thought, I think his name was Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah.
I thought he was great as Han Solo anyway.
I think he was good. Yeah. It
and
showed that.
Donald Glover as Lando.
Yeah.
Was awesome too.
Lando was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emilia Clarke was alright. Like she's pretty good. Woody Harrelson was pretty good.
I liked it.
Chewie, I liked the connection that they made with him.
They did alright with Chewie, I think.
I do think Chewie warmed up to him very quickly though.
Yeah.
It's like he wanted to kill him straight away, and then by the time they got on the ship,
only because he could speak
Wookiee. That's so true. Han Solo would be dead if he couldn't speak it.
I think they should have done a bit more like rivalry between Chewie and Han Solo to sort of
they should have. They should have made them fight a bit more before they got all like
even outside
buddy.
when they got outside the prison. I think they should have had a bit more like, oh no, I'll betray you.
Because even by the time they got on the train, he was like, oh, you gotta handle this one by yourself, buddy. Like calling him names and stuff. Anyway, character.
Okay, for character, I said Lando.
Lando was there just because it's Donald.
Also Han Solo.
I said Han Solo just because I really like the actor.
I think the actor was cool.
Playing Han Solo.
You know? And it shows again the development. We never see so much. We don't know so much about Han Solo in the actual original trilogy. This story just shows, you know, even though the start was sort of expected about, okay, it's with the chick he likes or whatever, whatever the association was, with Kira. But then it shows that, you know, he gets involved in this business for a while, blah, blah, he tries to get back, and then he finds out she's involved in this dark plan. You know what I loved about Solo though? Darth Maul. That was sick. And then with Kira leaving, I was like,
I mean, I still don't fully understand that.
I don't.
Because like,
is she a Sith? Is she turning to the dark side? What happened?
I really hope they make a second Solo, but I don't know if it makes sense to do it.
I don't.
Because where it fits in the story. I think they could make another, and I would love to watch another.
I think it'd be cool, but I don't know if it's like if there's a purpose.
Anyway, scene.
I said.
I had one and then scribbled it out.
I did say the train when they're on the train trying to rob it.
Cool. Yeah.
I think only because it's like, you know, it's they're trying to steal that. It was pretty cool. They had 2 big deaths, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
I thought they'd be involved a bit more. I really like the small. I can't remember the name.
Rio. It's only because I watched it recently. Yeah. Oh, so have you. It's your first time, I guess.
I can't remember the name.
Yeah, his name's Rio.
But I think it was cool, and then they killed him off. So I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah.
But I think it was cool. Sort of brought them together as a group with Woody Harrelson, and I was shocked when Woody
turned out to be prick.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say he's bad. He just wants to get a one up on them, and it's like how Han Solo was in the 4th one.
That's
if
true.
you think about it, because it's just him trying to look out for his own good with money.
I think Woody though came across as more of a dick though than Han Solo.
I mean, he was a dick the whole. Oh yeah, Han Solo wasn't a dick in that one.
No,
not like he is in the original one.
No way. But I think that's what Han Solo resembles is Woody's performance in the Solo film compared to A New Hope.
So you said the train.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know
first, I had the Kessel Run, but then I got rid of that. Like I do like it, but it's when they play the Sabacc card game both times, like in the middle of the movie and at the ending. It's just I don't know. It was really entertaining.
And how he won the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, and how he won it, and Lando cheating the first time.
I liked how Lando cheated.
Yeah. I mean, it does make sense with his character if you really think about it.
And like I said, I did love Lando's performance.
I wanted to try and buy that game. You can't get it as a board game, but it is a board game. But I don't know where you can get it from.
100%. But overall, I think Solo was pretty good. As a standalone film, like Rogue One, it served its purpose. It was different, tied in loose ends.
Yeah.
I think it worked.
Gave a few more details.
Yeah. I think that's it for the films.
Okay, now we're going to rank heroes and villains. We have 5 each, and then I have an extra character who's not really classified as either.
Yeah, I got 2. So.
Okay, we'll start with heroes, going from our 1st to the 5th. So
Alright.
I'm guessing we're gonna have the same for number 1.
Anakin.
Yeah.
Yeah. We established it before in like Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones why he's.
It's just the best. Oh, I'm talking in terms of episode 3.
Yeah, mainly
It's the best
3.
performance by far.
Yeah.
In any of the movies.
Yeah, 100%.
Second, I had Yoda because I don't know. I've always liked Yoda. I don't know, because he's small, different
Like
alien. He's alien.
Alien, what the?
Because he's in both thingos as well. Trilogies.
He's great.
I mean, he's a Force ghost for like a minute in Thingo,
yeah.
but yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just really like Yoda.
I said Qui-Gon Jinn for second, only because he was like one of the first Jedi's I got really attached to, and I think because green's like one of my favorite lightsaber colors. I think I don't know why. I really liked his training of Obi-Wan, who was the only one that believed in Anakin. I loved his wisdom. You know, I think it was just cool him fighting Darth Maul. Pretty sick.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that's why I said
Number
second.
3 to 5, mine can probably interchange.
Same with mine.
I don't even know if 5 would be my 5, but it's
Actually,
just what I thought of.
yeah, same.
Anyway, go for 3. Whether
For 3.
it doesn't have to be what you've written down, just
I
what it
said-
would actually be.
Obi-Wan.
Okay,
Who'd you say?
I said Han Solo for 3.
So Han Solo's
Because of the reason I listed before, I just think he's
Yeah.
really cool, a different character. I said Obi-Wan for 4.
Okay, well, I'll get
Who did
to
you
mine.
say for 4?
I said Yoda for 4.
Okay, so we've got.
So we've
we
got
have the
Yoda,
same?
Obi-Wan,
No.
and Anakin.
I said Han Solo, you said Qui-Gon. Okay.
Yeah, I said so Qui-Gon and
I wonder
Anakin.
if the 5th is the
Qui-Gon
same.
and Han
Han
Solo.
Solo.
The only reason why I said Obi-Wan is because like you see that transition from a wise man throughout the whole thing. He's wise even as an apprentice,
I mean,
all the way to when he dies.
Obi-Wan's a great character in all of them.
Yeah.
Anakin, I like. Anakin is okay in episode 1. He's okay
Yeah.
in episode 2, but then he's like phenomenal in 3.
Obi-Wan's
Obi-Wan's consistent.
He's consistent. That's the best way. And Yoda, like what Jordan said, like I think Yoda's just sick.
I mean, even there were different parts where he's CGI at one point.
Yeah.
Not one point. In an edition, he's CGI. In a different edition, he's a puppet.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Exactly. But I think Yoda is throughout pretty sick as well.
finishing off your heroes list,
Okay, this might disappoint you. I said Kit Fisto.
I had a feeling you'd have Kit Fisto.
Yeah.
I said Luke. I don't know if it would be
I was
Luke
gonna
though.
say
He just.
Luke. Yeah.
I don't know who else I'd put. I was thinking Ray.
No.
But I don't know if Ray would be there. I just said Luke. He's the main character. They bring him back in the sequels, which is pretty cool. Him versus Kylo Ren at the end to help them all escape, pretty much.
You know who I was tempted to say? R2D2. I've always loved R2. I don't know why.
He'd be a big hero because he's not a villain.
But the reason why I said Kit Fisto, I think he was just cool. Like episode 2, he's just a what is it? Just like an add-in character or whatever.
Who?
Kit Fisto.
Oh yeah.
He was just like a bonus character, and then he had a main, like not a main role. He had
I
like
don't know if I'd say main. He lasted
Not-
about two
main, but he was-
lightsaber
It was
strokes.
pretty cool, and even in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, that's why I really like him. Like he's got more of a story there, but
Yeah.
apart from that, that's pretty much
Heroes covered.
Heroes covered.
Villains.
All right, number 1, I said
and go on.
I said Darth Maul. I love
I
Darth
said
Maul.
Kylo Ren.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's my
Ooh.
favorite villain.
Okay. Yeah.
It is mainly because Adam Driver plays him too, and I do
You
really
do
like
love
him.
Adam
Like
Driver.
I watch different things he's in now just because it's him.
I see. I think Darth Maul just sick with the double decker lightsaber, very like athletic.
Did you say Darth? You didn't even say Darth Maul for episode 1. Oh, you said Qui-Gon.
No, I
but
said
he was just
Qui-Gon,
second. Yeah, true.
But I said Darth Maul as in like Beth,
Yeah.
one of my favorite villains. Second villain,
Django.
I said Vader. The only reason I said Vader is because he's just OG. He created the whole feeling of being a Sith bad guy. You know.
I mean, Vader has to be in everyone's top 5, or like you're really not a true Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
I just said Django. I mean, it's one movie.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
okay,
episode 2. He's just really cool. I don't know because everyone's obsessed with Boba Fett, but
I've got Django in mind, but yeah.
I don't see it. Django is just so much cooler to me. He actually
Yeah.
gets some bloody screen time and words to say, unlike Boba Fett who just died.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's what we thought. Not anymore.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Number 3.
Okay. This is going off topic, but Darth Revan for me. You might not.
You're gonna go. Yeah, I know who it is. You're gonna go down that route.
Darth Revan. I think. Yeah, I don't need to talk too much about that.
Mine's
but just sick.
Mine's Vader. Number 3, because I can't leave him too far out.
Just sick. Darth Revan, just sick. Purple and red lightsaber.
Yeah.
Just a badass Sith Lord. They should do a standalone film of just Darth Revan. I think.
Go on a different line. Yeah.
Number 4.
Darth Maul.
Okay, I said Kylo Ren for 4.
Okay, so we've got fairly similar. We just have one change.
We've got one difference, which isn't.
Oh, I wonder if the 5th's the same. But anyway, I said Darth Maul for the same reasons you did. But he's just 4th for me because I just enjoy the other ones better.
And I said Kylo Ren mainly just because he's just a Sith. He's very different, something unique, and also the transition.
He's like he's like whiny like Anakin, but like at the same time he's not.
Yeah.
Like
and for 5th,
we could have the same 5th.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Who is yours?
I've got Django for 5th.
Oh, mine's Grievous.
I was gonna say Grievous instead of Django or Darth Revan, but I had to think like realistically. I was gonna say Revan.
I said Grievous. Cool to see a cyborg type thing who doesn't have the Force.
Yeah.
And then 4 lightsabers.
Yeah.
And
that was sick. Episode 3 when he does the Obi-Wan.
Extras.
Alright, so I think we got the same extra, maybe.
We might.
Mandalorian.
Well, I only have one. Yeah, I said the Mandalorian because I just think the show's awesome.
The show's fantastic.
He's really cool character, and I don't think you can consider him as a hero or a villain at this point. Maybe by the end of the season.
By the end of the season, you.
I mean, he's not going to establish himself. He's not going to establish himself as a villain.
Yeah.
It'll be a hero if anything.
Yeah.
But at this point, like the first episode, before he found a child, he straight up killed him. He put a guy in carbonite to get to get paid. Yeah. So he's my extra because I love the show, and it took me a while to get into it. Not into it. I started when it came out, and then I stopped for ages, and then I watched the rest of it. It was this year because it was after I got back from Queensland, so it was like March. I finished it, and like once I watched like the 5th one, I was like, oh yeah, and watched them all in like 1 or 2 nights.
No, say with me, I sort of just.
So you said the Mandalorian as well.
Yeah, because like I watched it all when they all came out. I waited.
I wish I did that. I mean, I did that for the first episode of this one. Like I watched it Friday night.
Yeah, but I also said Starkiller or Galen Marik from the game.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about.
He's got
the 2 blue.
Yeah, the 2 blue or the 2 red.
I think he's the Force Unleashed.
That's the Force Unleashed. That's it. I was trying to think of the name.
I did not play that.
No, I think it was just. I didn't play it, but I just watched all the scenes from it. I think he's cool. Just a cool extra thing.
Yeah.
And now,
the big
finally,
one.
the ranking. So.
Alright, I feel like we've explained it a lot with each movie, so probably won't take too long, but it'll be interesting to compare them. So,
I think
start at the bottom.
The same.
Episode 11? Oh, it might not be the same. Not episode 11. Your 11th place.
8.
Episode 8? Mine's not.
Really?
Mine's Phantom Menace.
Really?
It's just... I don't know. I enjoy watching all of them. It's just the most maybe uneventful to me.
See, I think... Yeah, okay. I see where you're coming from. But we did establish it for like before. But for the 10th place, I got episode 1.
And I got Last Jedi.
Okay.
So they're both bottom 2. We've just
the bottom 2 we just switched them. It's okay.
Oh.
Okay, this one might piss you off a bit.
Oh, people are gonna be pissed at my one for this.
What's yours?
What's yours?
Were you gonna say New Hope for yours?
Yeah.
I was gonna put
New
Hope, but I changed it.
It's just boring to me.
Yeah, I changed it last night. I put Solo.
Solo is your 9th?
Yeah, only because I didn't really get into Solo too much.
I get you've seen it once though, so I guess,
I've seen it once. Yeah. This might change, like maybe 3 months down the track or something. If I watch it again or a couple of times, I might change it. But at the moment, I think that personally, in terms of storyline, I don't know. It was a standalone film, which is great, but I think Rogue One connected more than Solo did personally. But again, I'm not saying it's a shit film. I think it's fantastic.
No Star Wars film is bad, in my opinion.
I just think for me, like, if you're thinking about storyline, but I was very close. I had 4 there originally. Exact
4 is there for me because I know it sets up everything, but it's just boring.
Yeah, it is boring.
It's just,
I've got episode 4.
I don't get like excited to watch that one.
No,
where I do like any other one.
Yeah.
Even Phantom I don't know. It kind of doesn't make sense
Phantom
because
Menace.
Phantom Menace I
Yeah.
enjoy watching more than A New Hope, but
Yeah.
like I can't put Phantom Menace higher than A New
No,
Hope
no way.
because it still establishes everything.
Yeah.
Alright.
But I've got episode 4 for
Eight.
8. Yeah.
I
Seven.
put Rise of Skywalker for number 8
Really?
because it's just
See,
it's
I'm
just a
pretty close.
letdown to
Yeah.
finalize the
To
whole
finalise.
thing.
Yeah.
Like Ben Solo was awesome, which I've already mentioned, and that's about it. If whatever scenes don't have Ben Solo in that are just very average to me.
Yeah, that's true. I think Kylo Ren, we did establish it before.
Or yeah, Ben / Kylo is what I'm
He
talking
carries.
about. He carries that whole trilogy by
From
far.
7 to
Like his
9.
back has got to be hurt.
But I did say episode 9 for 7, which changed dramatically. I originally said episode 9 was in my top 3,
Yeah.
top 5. That was 3 months ago. Now I'm saying
So
episode
Rise
9
of
is
Skywalker
7.
for you is 7.
Yeah.
So what's 8?
8, I had
Oh,
episode
yeah.
4.
Yeah. Okay. So we've
Yeah.
got. We've got the same.
Pretty much
Oh no,
similar.
because you've got Solo.
I had Solo though.
Bottom 5, we've got 4 of the 5 in the same
Yeah.
bottom bit, which means.
So who's your 7th?
Okay. 7th, I said Attack of the Clones.
Really?
This list, the list that I make is not on. It's like combining.
Yeah.
Me enjoying watching it with like story and what it
Yeah.
adds to this universe.
That's
If I focused on just one of those things, this list would be so different. If it was
Yeah.
like on like rewatchability,
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones would be like 3,
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, same
and
with
A
me.
New Hope would be last.
Phantom
But I'm
Menace
not
would
doing.
probably-
I'm not doing it on that.
Phantom Menace would probably be in the top 5 because I'll watch that so many times.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be last for me. That's all I know.
Yeah. What
So
about
it's just accounting for other
Yeah.
things.
6? This is gonna piss you off so much.
What's yours?
Episode 7.
Mine's Empire.
For 6?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why did you do Empire for 6?
Because it's just the 5 above it are better.
That's fair.
That's my
fair.
reasoning.
Um,
I still stand by that. All 5. I mean,
Yeah.
3 of them guaranteed are better.
yeah.
2 of them
100%.
2 of them right now are better. Maybe that'll change in the future.
Yeah.
But it's just my 6th favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great storyline.
We've-
Dark, one of the series.
Yeah.
Adds characters like Lando and
Yeah.
Boba Fett.
Mhm.
Adds it. Is that it? I think that's it.
Pretty much.
But that's not what it's for. It's
Yeah.
a story to develop Luke and find
Yeah,
his
mainly.
relation
You've
to
got Yoda in
his
there.
father. And introducing Yoda, of course.
Yeah. But the only reason I said
Okay, number
episode...
7.
The only reason I said 7, I 100% I love it, right? I'll watch it again.
Yeah, I can't believe 7's that low for you.
Yeah, but it's just one of those films I can't like. I could probably watch Last Jedi more than 7. I think. I don't know why.
Please.
Only because like I need to understand the story a bit more. Episode 7, I understand the story. I'm fine, but it's just like I don't know. There's 3 that easily beat 4 that easily for me beat 7.
Alright, so number 5, is that what we're on?
Yeah, number
5.
5. I got Attack of the Clones.
I got Rogue One.
I changed it originally.
I
had
didn't
Rogue
really
One 5.
change mine.
Yeah.
If I read through it, I might change it, but this is what I've had for the last week when I
Yeah.
thought of what I'd put.
I was gonna have Rogue One 5th, but
Rogue
then
One.
I had to say
Because Rogue One, like, these
Yeah.
last 4, like, I mean, they're the top,
We've got-
they're the
I
top
think we've
4
got-
for a reason,
yeah.
that's all I can really say. But Rogue One, yeah.
Yeah.
Hated it first, love it now.
yeah. Attack of the Clones for me, I love it. It's probably I can
Yeah,
watch it
yeah.
over and over again. But in terms for me, I've got Rogue One up as 4th, but I just think it's just because Rogue One had more intensity.
We're
I
gonna
think.
have to, like, say the order, like,
Yeah.
straight, like, without any
Without
like,
any
breaks again after, because
Yeah.
we're like saying one of
So,
each other.
yeah, we keep changing.
But anyway,
What's 4th for you?
Return of the Jedi.
4th.
Oh, you haven't said Return of the Jedi yet, have you? That's my favourite original by far.
Yeah. Okay. Oh.
There's nothing has ever triumphed. Like, I've never had Empire over Return,
Okay.
and definitely not A New Hope over Return.
Okay. Yeah. So I said for. I think I said. For
Wait,
4,
did you?
Episode 2. No, episode Rogue One. Sorry, I said
Rogue
4.
One for 4.
4. Yeah. Sorry. Rogue One for 4.
Well,
I think just because
okay.
of
I don't
great
even, I
standalone
don't even know
film.
what you've got left. You've got
Well, we've got the. I think we've got the same first.
no, we
haven't
don't. Oh, we have the same first.
we? Yeah.
Okay, number
Okay.
3.
Number 3, I got episode 5. So Empire
Which is the
Strikes
one I
Back.
forgot about.
Yeah. So Empire
Okay,
Strikes
I
Back.
like your top two then. At
Yeah,
least.
we've got the same top two, I think. No.
No, we don't.
Oh,
Number
damn it.
3.
We don't.
Number 3. I said Solo.
I forgot about that.
I love
Really?
Solo. It's just
Top
the
3?
more. Yep. At the moment,
That beats Return of the Jedi, you're saying?
by a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. The more I watch it, the more I like it.
No, I'm disappointed.
Number 2.
Only because
yeah.
because I think Return of the Jedi was just like
Return of the Jedi is still my favorite
Yeah.
original. I'll give it that.
yeah. I don't know. I just couldn't connect with Solo at the moment. I've only watched it 3 days ago, so like it's pretty fresh in my mind. But
Yeah.
what do we have?
Silver medal.
Silver
Does that go to?
I got Return
Oh
of the
yeah,
Jedi.
obviously.
Um,
Do you know what mine is?
Force
Based on
Awakens.
what's left.
Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew
Was
you were
my
gonna say that.
was my favorite for.
Yeah.
It was hard to explain. It was my favorite Star Wars movie for a bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Revenge of the Sith was like my favorite movie.
Of all time.
Yeah, which like
Yeah, I know.
does it make sense? Kind of, but not really.
It's
But,
happened
like
to me. It happened with me with Return of the Jedi for a while. It was my favorite, and then Revenge
yeah,
of the
like
Sith.
Force Awakens is my favorite movie, but then Revenge of the Sith was my favorite.
Can't beat.
Force Awakens is my favorite Star Wars movie, but Revenge of the Sith is my favorite movie, which
Yeah.
like doesn't really make sense. But Force Awakens is still number 2 for me.
Yeah, and then we've got obviously number 1,
The GOAT,
the GOAT.
in
Revenge of the
our
Sith.
opinion, Revenge of the Sith.
100%.
It's just-
Don't even start.
There's not one boring scene
There is not.
in Revenge of the
There is
Sith.
not. Honestly, it is.
Obi-Wan
the best.
kills it, Anakin kills it, Palpatine kills it in that one. Yoda's pretty cool. Mace Windu's
Mace
cool for the
Windu's
time
cool.
that he's alive.
He's also a
And
bit
then
of a
that's-
prick.
Padme's a bit useless,
Jeez.
considering how dominant she was in the first 2.
Ripped all
But-
the 3 Jedi who helped Mace Windu try to kill
Not
Palpatine.
helped is a fucking long shot. They just stood there.
Direct.
But like the first one,
Yeah, it doesn't. Nothing. Full stop. Nothing beats Revenge of the Sith. Anyone who wants to watch Star Wars, like, and they hate watching anything else, they can't get into it. You can easily get into Revenge of the Sith. Fifth
it's
Five.
like it starts with them flying, then
Grievous is
Dooku,
shit.
then Grievous later
Boom.
on, then Anakin turned to Vader, and then just like
There is so much to cover in Revenge of the Sith. That'd take a whole video itself. I think.
if we went into depth,
Yeah.
it would.
I think. So now, going back.
Okay,
making from-
you do yours first from 11
So-
without explaining. So just so they know if
yeah.
they got confused.
So 11th position, I said episode 8. 10th, episode 1. 9th, I said Solo. 8th, I said episode 4. 7, I said episode 9. 6, I said episode 7. 5th, I said episode 2. 4th, I said Rogue One. 3rd, I said Empire Strikes Back, which is episode 5. 2nd, I said Return of the Jedi, episode 6. And number 1, Revenge of the Sith, episode 3.
Okay, so I said 11 Phantom Menace, 10 Last Jedi, 9 A New Hope, 8 Rise of Skywalker, 7 Attack of the Clones, 6 Empire Strikes Back, 5 Rogue One, 4 Return of the Jedi, 3 Solo, 2 Force Awakens, and number 1 Revenge of the Sith.
Nothing beats like Revenge of the Sith.
I
It's still
agree.
my favorite, but that's for another video.
What?
Something's almost toppled Revenge of the Sith. This is one of my favorite films,
Of anything.
and that's going to be different. There'll be something
Maybe
different.
we'll make it different.
But I'm not going to say.
Movies
I'm not going to say yet.
movies
I'm
in
not going to
general,
say yet.
just-
But
oh my god, I'd
but
have to
yeah.
have a good think about.
It
I know,
almost-
I know some of them.
it's probably 2 movies in talking about the
have
2
no
movies.
idea
I think.
I can have
Okay,
a
after
guess,
this. But it almost toppled Revenge of the Sith. Almost. But hands down, if we're talking about Star Wars, obviously Revenge of the Sith, best Star Wars film, I think. We think as well. But I think what we could conclude from that is that like
we're on the same track.
we're on the same track. Like we got very similar ones that we think are absolute dog shit, and we got really similar ones that we think are
It's just
like
the
fantastic.
biggest external factors are probably Solo and Force Awakens.
Force Awakens, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Attack of the Clones as well a bit, because I like Attack of the Clones. Like I can watch that more than Force Awakens. But you're
not,
massive.
Not more than Force Awakens.
Like, I'm not saying I hate Force Awakens. I love it, but if I have to, I'm more of a person who thinks about character development, storyline development, stuff like that, and obviously personal enjoyment and watching. You know, if I had, like I said, if we had to do a list of watching it, Revenge of the Sith, probably Attack of the Clones second.
that would be a lot different.
That'd be different, which, you know, who knows what happens. But yeah. I
Anyway,
think
that was longer than
that was something that
I
I
expected.
anticipated. Shit.
But that was the first episode. I'll try and get them out weekly, but it just depends on when people are free, I guess.
That's the hard thing. Like I'm
because you're gonna have exams. Because like there'll be a few that I can get with you. I want to get James on one too.
Yeah.
Because I want to do a oh shit, this is all bruised.
Oh shit.
Not bruised.
Bruised.
I had a plan for you and James. I wanted to do like a quiz thing, like a trivia type thing.
Oh yeah.
But I want James for it as well because like just one-on-one, it's kind of a bit useless. But so I don't know. You can be on a few whenever you're really free.
Yeah.
But
and we can also do different things as well. Like I'm only helping you now. Obviously it's his, but if there's anything you think that would be cool or you want to see us do, any challenges?
Yeah, just
or any main even different topics, like if there's social issues, if there's more things that require opinions and debates.
I've got a few things planned out already. I'll try and get the videos out every Thursday, I think I said, because I'm done with uni now. Yeah. So I really am free to do whatever. Like I don't have any plans, so I'm gonna try and get them out Thursday. This will be the first episode, but obviously you already know that. And then I'll try. At the moment, I think I've got 9 planned with different people. Yeah. So this, obviously, if you're watching this, it'll be on YouTube. If you're listening, I mean, you might be listening on YouTube without watching it, but I'm also going to try and put it on Spotify. But I think you have to apply.
Yeah, I don't.
To get it. I'll have to search up and see how to do it. But I'm going to try and apply to get it on Spotify. So if you want to just listen when you're out or whatever, you can. Because I know the only way to do that with YouTube is to buy the premium thing. Yeah. And no one's doing that because I don't do it. Yeah. So
if there's anything else, like if you think that'd be cool to discuss, you can always just message.
Yeah, I made an Insta for it. So if you want to message on that, but I think that's the first one sorted. And thanks for tuning in. This long Star Wars episode.
It's alright. It'll be down. It's alright.
Passionate about it, so. Good thing to talk about.
I had to let my nerdy son out of it,
Alright, anyway, we'll see you next time.
Ciao.